And it says in 2 Chronicles 33, verse 1, it says, Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 50 and 5 years in Jerusalem. But he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, like unto the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord had cast out before the children of Israel. For he built again the high places which Hezekiah his father had broken down, and he reared up altars for Balaam, and made groves, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served them. Also he built altars in the house of the Lord, whereof the Lord had said, in Jerusalem shall my name be forever. And he built altars for all the hosts of heaven in the two courts of the house of the Lord. Now Manasseh was a king who reigned many years. He reigned 55 years. His father Hezekiah was one of the greatest kings in Judah. One of the greatest kings in Judah. But we see here Manasseh, he's going off his own way. He's going off and doing something quite different than his father. Now as we see here in 2 Chronicles 33 verse 5, it says, he built altars for all the hosts of heaven and the two courts of the house of the Lord. But what he did was he literally went into the house of the Lord, and he built other altars. He built altars that were not the way God had fashioned. It says in the previous verse, in 33 verse 3, it says, and he reared up altars for Balaam. These altars that he put in the house of the Lord, they were not what God had designed. This was not something that I believe was done to worship the Lord God Almighty. He built up altars for all the hosts of heaven, the two courts of the house of the Lord. 2 Chronicles 33 verse 6. And he caused his children to pass through the fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom. He's talking about he literally sacrificed his sons. This was a king. This is a king Manasseh. Why would he do that? Today people are sacrificing their kids at the abortion clinics. They don't want to be disturbed. They don't want to be disrupted with their lives. They don't want to take care of kids. Thank God, Andy, we got so many kids. They're a blessing. But we see that he sacrificed his sons unto other gods. Manasseh, a great king, whose father had done many great things. Also, he observed times, used enchantments, and used witchcraft. Enchantments. How many people believe in witchcraft? Absolutely. How many people heard about a band called Megadeth? Anyone heard of a band called Megadeth? Yeah. Brother Mike, you heard that band? No, when I was a kid, I don't want to endorse listening to this, but when I was a kid, I used to listen to Megadeth. Yeah. And the lead singer, his name is David Mustaine, and I'm not sure if he's saved or if he got saved. He claims to be a Christian now. I didn't get a clear testimony from him. But it seems like it's possible Brother Mustaine used to be his, right? Unfortunately, he hasn't gone and given up that music, but he talked about when he grew up a Jehovah's Witness, and he wanted to get away from that. He saw hypocrisy in Christianity, and he got into witchcraft. And he said he literally cast a spell on somebody that was holy to him. He said he cast a spell, he did some spell, cast a spell on some holy that had hurt him. And that really got into an accident. And he said that the part of the body that he was praying, that he cast a spell upon to get injured, got injured. Then he did some other spell, and I don't want to get into the details. We don't need to get into all the details of evil. But that also came to pass. This stuff is real. He even would say, person even say that this is in the music. He believed that these spirits were impacting. This was something that Manasseh had sought out. His father sought out the Lord God Almighty, but he went a completely different way. He used witchcraft. He dealt with a familiar spirit. And with wizards. He wrought much evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. Much evil. And he set up a carved image. The idol which he had made in the house of God. Now, of course, Exodus 20, verse 4 to 5. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of fathers upon the children, to the third and fourth generation. I mean, how many people, I've seen people, right, Hindus, right? And they literally have these figurines. Have you ever seen those figurines they have? We've gone knocking on the door. Some people, they want to show you this. You saw them? Yeah, there's lots in that neighborhood, right? And some of these people, they say, yeah, I pray to these people. I have one for Jesus, I have one for Allah, I have one for everybody. Now, this is wrong. Now, I think about another church that does this kind of stuff. I don't need to name that church. But Manasseh, he set up a carved image in the house of God. A carved image. I don't care who that image was to. And I'm sure it wasn't the God. Manasseh was blasphemous to the Lord God Almighty. He went into his house, the house of God, and he desecrated the house of God. He went into the house of God and just made a mockery of it. And he was the leader of the country. And it says, 2 Chronicles 33:7. And he set up a carved image, the idol which he had made in the house of God, of which God had said to David and Solomon's son, in this house in Jerusalem, which I have chosen before all the tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. Neither will any more remove the foot of Israel out of the land which I have appointed for your fathers, so that they may take heed to do all that I have commanded them according to the whole law, statutes, and ordinance of the hand of Moses. So Manasseh made Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem to err and to do worse than the heathen whom the Lord had destroyed before the children of Israel. Now, so, based on this chapter, I mean, you can read in the equivalent chapter in Kings. Was Manasseh a good king? He's wicked, right? He's probably about as wicked as you get. I mean, he was just totally defiant of the Lord God Almighty. Totally defiant. Totally defiant. Now, you turn your Bibles to Matthew chapter 27. Matthew chapter 27, verse 3. Matthew chapter 27, verse 3. It says in Matthew 27:3, it says, Then Judas, when he had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned, and that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, What is that to us? See that to that. I think of kind of an equivalent person in a sense in the New Testament with Judas Iscariot. I mean, Judas Iscariot, and if you turn to John chapter 6, if you can't get there at the time, it's fine. John chapter 6, verse 7. Jesus says to his apostles, have not I chosen you 12, and one of you is the devil? He spake of Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon, for he it was that should betray him, one of the 12. Judas Iscariot was a man who got to see Jesus. He got to see all the great things that Jesus had done, all the great miracles, all the people that Jesus had compassion on and loved. The sick people he healed, the lepers he healed, the people who were blind. Jesus said that, have not I chosen you one? Have not I chosen 12? One of you is the devil. Jesus Iscariot, he went around trying to be and act like a Christian. Even almost worse than Manasseh, that he would try to pretend to be a Christian, try to pretend to be something he wasn't. Almost worse than Manasseh. Now, I'll ask you a question as we'll get back to this. Judas, as it says here, that in Matthew 27:3, he repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned, and that I have betrayed the innocent blood. I asked this question, you don't have to answer it out loud. But if Judas asked Jesus for forgiveness, after he'd done this, after he'd sold him out, after he betrayed him, could he have been saved? I asked you that, but you don't have to answer that. Or was he a reprobate? Was he so far gone that God had said, see you later? I ask this, think about that question. Would God have mercy upon Judas? When he says Judas repented himself, but did not ask for forgiveness. I don't believe he asked for forgiveness. He went out and humbled himself, and I believe that Judas is in hell. I believe he is. Now, he repented himself, but if he asked for forgiveness, would he have been saved? It's a good question. Think about that as we move on. Now, 2 Chronicles, going back to 2 Chronicles 33, verse 10. 2 Chronicles 33, 10. Now we know Manasseh is a bad guy, right? We know Justin Trudeau is a bad guy, right? Wicked guy. We know Barack Obama is a bad guy, right? These guys, does Justin Trudeau go for partial birth abortion? I think, were you talking about this law, Brother Gord? Was it in the States?
I worked in the States.
Not in the States, right? But we know that Justin Trudeau, right? He's all about the transgender movement, all about the sodomites. He says that, evangelical Christians are what, hate group? Or one of the worst groups?
Yeah.
This guy's a wicked guy. He's a wicked socialist. I can't stand the guy. I couldn't stand this. I heard worse things about his blog as well. The leaders that we have, they're almost like Manasseh. They're almost like them. Manasseh is a bad guy. Manasseh, without doubt, is a bad guy. Can we just continue on? 2 Chronicles 33:10. And the Lord spake to Manasseh and to his people, but they would not hearken. God gave Manasseh a chance. He sent, I'm sure there was many prophets at the time to warn him. God always sent a prophet to those kings, telling them, warning them, hey, you got to turn around, you got to repent, you got to stop doing what you're doing, you got to get back to serving me. The Lord spake to Manasseh to his people, but they would not hearken. God gave them a warning. God is giving this country a warning. God has given the United States a warning. There's so many great preachers in the States. In this country, though, it's hard-pressed to find somebody who would have the gall. Not saying I'm a great guy to say that Justin Trudeau is a wicked prime minister. Hey, I'd be hard-pressed. I don't care. But the bottom line is, there's always a warning. The Lord spake to Manasseh to his people, but they would not hearken. Wherefore the Lord brought upon them the captains of the host of the king of Assyria, which took Manasseh among the thorns and bound him with fetters and carried him to battle. There's judgment. There will be judgment. There will be a judgment. Now, these people, if anybody who's wicked doesn't have judgment in this lifetime, they will have a judgment in eternity in hell. That's terrible judgment. That's the worst judgment you can imagine. You would hope that God would give them a chance to kind of wake up, even if they got to be judged on this earth. Manasseh paid the price for what he had done. He got carried away by the king of God, and led his name to profane. He got sick and tired of seeing what Israel was doing. So Manasseh, of course, the captains of the host of the king of Syria, which took Manasseh among the thorns and bound him with fetters and carried him to Babylon. They got bound him in fetters, carried him to Babylon. How many people would like that? I would like that. 2 Chronicles 33:12. And when he was in affliction, he besought the Lord his God, and humbled himself greatly before the God of his fathers, and prayed unto him, and he was entreated of him, and heard his supplication, and brought him again to Jerusalem into his kingdom. Then Manasseh knew that the Lord, he was God. Now Manasseh, after everything he did, after all the wickedness he committed, when he went to the king of Assyria, when he was bound in fetters, it says, in his affliction, he besought the Lord his God, and humbled himself greatly before the God of his fathers, and prayed unto him, and he was entreated of him. After everything that Manasseh had done, desecrating the altar of God, doing the worst things that people can imagine, sacrificing his sons in the fire, when he went and besought the Lord God, God heard him, and God forgave him. One of the most wicked men in the world. One of the most wicked men in the world. God heard him. Our God is a merciful God. His mercy endures forever. Could you imagine the mercy of God that even Manasseh, what he had done with God, when he went and sought God out, he was there. Amen. Now we think about it. Some people might think, I'm training up my kids. They're not following me. What good is it? What use is it? Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Maybe one thing that Manasseh was thinking about was his father. Maybe he was thinking about his father Hezekiah, and thinking about all the things that he did. Maybe that was the lasting impact on him. Or maybe he was thinking about the prophets. Maybe he got... But the bottom line is Manasseh, he changed. Now, in 1 Chronicles 16:34, you can go to 1 Chronicles 34. First Chronicles 16:34. Says, and this is something they said during David's time. It says, "Oh give thanks unto the Lord, for He's good, for His mercy endureth forever." 2 Chronicles 20:21, Jehoshaphat's era says, "And we had consulted the people, He appointed singers unto the Lord, and that they should praise the beauty of holiness. And as they went out before the army and say, Praise the Lord, for His mercy endureth forever." Something we find out about Ahab, and we're not going to go there. When Ahab humbled himself before God, and God was going to judge him, God did not judge Ahab during his day. He brought the judgment upon his son's day, but the judgment that He was going to do for Ahab, when Ahab humbled himself, Ahab got rid in his lifetime. Even a man who was just as wicked. God is in, what I want to focus on is this: God's mercy endures forever. And He would even take a man like Manasseh and forgive him. God is willing to forgive anybody, and God's willing to forgive even Justin Trudeau or Barack Obama or any of these people, any of these wicked people. God is willing to forgive anybody. So go back to the question: could Judas Iscariot have been saved if he asked for forgiveness? I believe so. I believe so. I believe that Judas could have been saved, but Judas, in a sense, still had that pride. He didn't want to ask for forgiveness, or didn't think he deserved the forgiveness. Because one trick I think the devil really can play is telling people, "Hey, God will forgive you. God will forgive you." He plays that trick with the unsaved, I believe. God will forgive you. Hey, God destined Judas for hell. God created Judas because He wanted to send to hell. And we didn't. God's not going to listen anywhere. The devil is constantly playing that trick on people. God won't forgive you. God won't forgive you. He won't forgive you. I believe it. Constantly I've been playing that trick. But really think about Peter denied Jesus. Peter denied Jesus. After he said he would, he denied Him. In front, as they were about to crucify Him, he denied Christ. But think about what He did afterwards. Think about how He turned 360 afterwards. Think about Paul the Apostle. Think about all the worst things that made Paul persecuted Christians or destroying cities. He was consenting unto the death of Stephen. When he turned around, when he had that mercy, great things happened. Now we see the same thing with Manasseh in 2 Chronicles chapter 33, verse 14. 2 Chronicles 33:14. Now this is after Manasseh turns to God. He comes back to Jerusalem. God gets him out of Assyria. Now after this, he built an altar. Now just to kind of get some context here. When he went into Assyria, he was a wicked king. He was after all the strange gods, but he comes back to Israel. He comes back to Judah. Comes back. Who do you think the people are expecting when he comes back? The same old Manasseh, right? The same old guy who was going after familiar spirits. The same old guy who was going after Baal. The same old wicked man. But he comes back. 2 Chronicles 33:14. Now after this, he built a wall without the city of David on the west side of Gion in the valley, even in the entering in at the fish gate, he compassed about Ophel and raised it up to very great height, and put captains of war in all the fenced cities of Judah. And he took away the strange gods and the idol out of the house of the Lord, and all the altars that he had built in the mount of the house of the Lord and in Jerusalem, and cast them out of the city. And he repaired the altar of the Lord and sacrificed it on peace offerings and thank offerings, and commanded Judah to serve the Lord God of Israel. Nevertheless, the people still did sacrifice. Still in the high places, yet unto the Lord their God only. Now the rest of the acts of Manasseh and his prayer unto his God, and the words of the seers that spake to him in the name of the Lord God of Israel, behold, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel. His prayer also, and how God was entreated of him, and all his sin and his trespass in the places wherein he built high places and set up groves and graved an image. It is before he was humbled, behold, they are written among the sayings of the seers. Now it comes down to this. You think, how is this applicable? How is this applicable to us? I believe it is applicable to us. I believe it is applicable to us because as Christians, no matter what's going on in our life, sometimes it's hard to serve God. Sometimes it's hard to serve God. It's hard to follow God's word and to do the things that God wants us to do. Many times we feel like many times we feel like we fail God. We don't do exactly what He wants us to do. And many times we would be right to think that God will judge us. Now, if you turn your Bibles to Lamentations chapter 3, verse 12. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 12. This is, of course, Lamentations written by Jeremiah. And it says, He had bent His bow and set me as a mark for the arrow. He hath caused the arrows of His quiver to enter into my rings. I was a derision to all my people, and their song all the day. He hath filled me with bitterness. He hath made me drunken with wormwood. He hath also broken my teeth with gravel stones. He hath covered me with ashes. And thou hast removed my soul far from peace. I forgot prosperity. And I said, my strength and my hope is perished from the Lord. Remembering my affliction and my misery, the wormwood and the gall, my soul had been still in remembrance and is humble in me. How many people feel like sometimes God maybe is judging? I mean, I'd be honest, I feel sometimes God's judging me. I feel like sometimes I believe in just like Jeremiah wrote in Lamentations. I feel that sometimes, when He's saying that He hath filled me with bitterness, He hath made me drunk with wormwood, He hath also broken my teeth with gravel stones, He hath covered me with ashes. Many times I feel like, many times I feel like God's not pleased. Let's face it, we're still sinners, right? We're still sinners. We still do things we still do many things that are wrong. But it says in Lamentations 3:21, it says, then I recall to my mind, Lamentations 3:21, then this I recall to my mind, therefore have I hope. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because His compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in Him. Now, what He's saying in Lamentations 3:22, it says, it is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because His compassions fail not. They are new every morning. In Psalm 106:1 it says, praise ye the Lord. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good, for His mercy endureth forever. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good, for His mercy endureth forever. Psalm 118:29 says, oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good, for His mercy endureth forever. Psalm 136:1 says, oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good, for His mercy endureth forever. We think about the mercy that we've gotten from God so many times that we failed Him. That mercy is there. Now we need to think about how do we get that mercy. Manasseh asked for that mercy. So no matter what we're going through, no matter what I've been going through, many times I feel like I failed God, and I've done wrong, and I feel like God can't forgive me. I'm a Christian and I'm acting this way, arguing with my wife, or fight with my wife, or maybe something doesn't go well at work, and I feel like, hey, I failed God. I'm not doing well. I'm not giving the gospel to enough people. I'm not doing and being the Christian that the Apostle Paul was. Should I be like the Apostle Paul? Shouldn't God have an expectation for me to do whatever? And many times do things wrong. And I feel like, hey, God, what can God do with me? What can God do with me? Is God should just judge me and take my life right now, and He would be just to do it, and He would be just to do it. He would be just, none of us deserve salvation, but He gives it to us. When you come to God, and you ask Him for that forgiveness, just like Manasseh, He is good. His mercy endureth forever. When we go to God for forgiveness, and we need it, and we genuinely ask God, I messed up. God, I've done so many things wrong. God, I messed my life up. And we experience forgiveness, and His mercy endure forever. God's mercy on Manasseh, a wicked king. He had mercy on him. He had mercy on Ahab. Ahab. He had mercy on Manasseh. He had mercy on David after the things that he did. God has mercy on so many people that try David Berkowitz, a serial killer, right? Woke up in a jail, all of a sudden he decided he was going to come to God. He was asking him for forgiveness. And he asked God for forgiveness, and I believe the same thing. Wait, and all of a sudden, lifted up his shoulder. He felt the mercy of God come down and lift away every sin in the whole world. For he is good, for his mercy, and forever. I mean, God, he's got the greatest thing in the world. It's the mercy that he gives us for the things that we've done wrong. I mean, imagine Manasseh, when he experienced that mercy, he totally changed 360. Apostle Paul, when he got that conversion and realized all the things he did wrong, he totally turned 360. Peter, after what he had done, denying Christ, I mean, he was already zealous for God, but he got back on the right track. He was Judas Iscariot. If he'd only believed, if he had only asked, Because the thing, my friends, the thing is, we cannot experience God's mercy unless we ask. The devil will get you tricked in. Try to get you tricked in thinking, hey, don't ask. Don't ask. Don't ask. Now, I know how many people here when you're knocking on the doors, they say, I try to tell people that Jesus saves us from our sins, and some people think that means we'll never sin again. And they think that, Christians, they say that they're supposed to live by this book, but man, they really don't live like this book. And let's face it, we're on the spot as Christians, right? Are we on the spot? We're on the spot. We're expected to live up to this standard. We're expected to be perfect. And people are looking for that opportunity just to jump on you and find something you do wrong. And especially if you're a Christian. I mean, they're just looking for something. I want to find something that guy says wrong, and I just get to rip him up and eat him up for breakfast. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You're a Christian. And some people say that Christians, they still sin. So what's going on? Well, we're not perfect. We're not perfect. Well, I'm just going to say, if we turn to Romans chapter 3. Romans chapter 3. I don't pretend to be something I'm not. I tell people, you know what? You're right. I still do sin. I'm not happy about it. I do my best. I struggle. I do struggle. But I'm glad I got that forgiveness. Now, Romans chapter 3, verse 5. That's some of the kind of tricky verses the way it's written. But Romans 3, verse 5 says, but if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of God, what shall we say? Is God unrighteous and take vengeance? I speak as a man. What he's saying here, though, is this first part of the verse I really want to focus on. Romans 3:5 says, but if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of God, what shall we say? Manasseh's unrighteousness commended the righteousness of God. The fact that he did all those things wrong, and God still had mercy on him. The fact that he did so much wrong, and God still had mercy on him. It showed it commended the righteousness of God. The fact that he was unrighteous, and God still forgave him, showed what a loving God that we have, that God will still forgive the greatest sinner, the worst sinner. God will still forgive the Christian who should know better and gets off and does things wrong. God will still. But if our righteousness commend the righteousness of God, what shall we say? I'm glad my unrighteousness commends the righteousness of God, because I'm glad to experience the mercy of God when he forgives me and know what a loving God we have. And it says, as this continuing on Romans 3:5, it says, but if our righteousness commend the righteousness of God, what shall we say? Is God unrighteous to take vengeance? I speak as a man. God forbid. For if then how shall God judge the world? Verse 7, for the truth of God hath more abounded through my lying to his glory. Why yet am I also judged as a sinner? Now rather, as being slanderously reported, and as some affirm that we say, let us do evil that good may come, whose damnation is just. And what he's saying basically, saying that some Christians kind of saying that these people are kind of criticized for saying, God is so merciful to me. Even when I sin, it shows how great a God we have. Some people are saying that the people are using that as an excuse to sin, basically. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. That's the greatest thing about God. I don't want to sin. I don't want to do wrong. But when I do wrong, he still comes to me. He's still there for me. He's still there for me. And that's what the people that we got to talk to, they need to realize they need that too. They need the mercy, like Manasseh had. They need that same mercy that Manasseh had. Now, continue on here. God wants us, that mercy that we got from God, that mercy that God is given to forgive us, He wants us to apply that same mercy to other people. He wants us to play, not only does He give us mercy, but He wants us to apply that same mercy to other people. He doesn't want us to just take the mercy of God, for God is good for His mercy, endure it forever. He doesn't want us to just take that and be happy about it. He wants us to show other people mercy. Now, if you turn to Hosea chapter 6, Hosea chapter 6, verse 6. And it says in Hosea 6:6, it says, For I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. God's saying, I desire more than anything, more than even sacrifice. Sacrifice is such a part of the Old Testament. It has so many sacrifices. He says, no, I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. In Matthew 12:7, it says, But if you know what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice. You would not condemn the guiltless. Back in even in Jesus' time, they put such an emphasis, say, I'm giving the offerings, giving their sacrifices, but they forgot mercy. They forgot giving mercy to other people. They forgot the truth of God. And as Christians, what we need to do is we need to give mercy to everyone. We got to give mercy to our co-workers. We got to give mercy to our friends, our family members, people in the church. We need to show them the mercy of God. Not only do we need to do that, not only do we want to do that, how many people like enemies? How many people like having enemies? It's terrible, right? Better when you show somebody mercy and show them that mercy of God and show them what a great God that we have. Luke chapter 6:36, it says, Be therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful. Micah, if you turn to Micah chapter, actually, if you turn to James chapter 2, verse 13. Micah, if you turn to James 2:13, it says, For ye shall have judgment without mercy, that show no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth over judgment. So the bottom line is, think about God. We think about everything He's done. We think about how merciful He is. The fact that we can go to Him at any time. Something we need to remember. Manasseh was forgiven. Ahab was forgiven. Judas could have also been forgiven, no matter what we're going through in our life. I think about a time recently I felt like I was down and out. And I felt like, I was doing so much wrong. And I just go, God, I came to God and said, God, hey, I'm failing you. I'm doing wrong. And honestly, I felt like I could feel God's mercy come down and pour upon me. I almost feel like, I'll be honest, I don't like to admit this, I felt like weeping. I felt His mercy come pouring upon me. And that gave me the confirmation, hey, just continue on. Just move on. Just move on with the church. Just move on. Try to move forward. And to experience that. And the crazy thing about it is my unrighteousness has allowed me to experience that. The fact that if I had not been unrighteous, I would not have experienced the mercy of God. I'm not saying that I should be righteous, but He came to me in a time when I needed it so much. I must always remember how merciful God is. And give Him thanks for everything. Not only, of course, that He's there for us, but He's there for the whole world, the unsaved world, who thinks that God won't save them. Many people, I believe, in this world that we'll encounter, that we try to give the gospel to, will think God won't save me. I'm too much of a wretch. He would not do that. I'm a wicked person. I'm probably destined something about the idea of Calvinism saying God predestined some people. I talked to one person recently about that, talking about how Judas, he said he thought Judas was predestined to go to hell by God. I tried to tell him that wasn't the case, thinking that in a sense he was in that boat. No, tell him about the mercy of God. Tell him about what we know about it.
Tell them about the mercy that God had on Esther. Tell them about the mercy that God had on Hagar. Tell them about the fact that he had mercy on Peter after he denied him. Mercy of God. It's got to be one of the greatest things that we can experience. I think so much God that he gives us that